all 6 maps. We're into game. UWOWTM8 against Cringe Gods, game 1 of today.
Yeah, we can see some early pressure onto Daki, the hunter for now. It looks like Mozzarella is trying to shut Feral down on his Cyclones. He's going for another one. Not able to get it quite yet. Now Toaster tossing out that Avenging Wrath. He's going for a lot of burst onto Daki. Feral's doing a good job to deflect it so far with his Cenarian Ward. It's healing quite a lot, actually. That's an amazing heal there. Feral still looking for a clone. Clones up Dizio. He just wants to peel through this Avenging Wrath. He's doing a good job so far, and they only need to trade out 1 deterrence. If they can get away with only trading 1, they will be very far ahead, but I'm starting to doubt it. Snowy is struggling to heal through the damage. Daki's dipping just so low on HP. Snovy's trying to cast a heal, get next to that big heal, and now Toaster is starting to get counter-pressured. He's down to 30%. He's forced to bubble already. Bubble and pain suppression have been burned through for UWOWTM8. This is looking terrible for UWOWTM8.
Yeah, suddenly they didn't get the cooldowns they would have hoped for with that Wings and the full trap onto Snowy, not even forcing a Spirit Link out. However, the Incarnation has come out right now. That was forcing the bubble. Can they get more control? They just need to get some CC onto the Disc Priest. He still has his Trinket available. Hodge onto Snowy, but he pre-grounds it. Actually, no trap able to follow up thanks to a great Cyclone from Feral, shutting down Dizio on that CC chain.
Yeah, Feral's been going crazy with Cyclones. He's been eating a lot of the interrupts, so Snowy is allowed to cast. He's playing really well, and now Toaster is in the most amount of trouble. Mazza trinkets out of that to try and get some healing rolling, but both of his teammates are down to half HP. Are they playing Jungle Cleave or with a Warlock? They're rotting this team down so incredibly fast. Feral tossing out another well-timed Cenarian Ward. That is healing Daki quite a bit, holding him at about 50%, but Snowy needs to connect the heal very soon. He goes for the big Ascendance heal. That should be able to top it. He actually gets knocked away, and now Dizio in that Cyclone means that they can't pursue any more damage. It looks like Maz is going to follow it with a full fear. Do they have any more? Now Daki could be in trouble. This could be the second deterrence. He's trying to line of sight, doing a good job behind CC. They need to keep Snowy locked down. It looks like Dizio wants to land a trap. He lands the full trap, 9 the pillar. Toaster is into that binding shot. Feral looking to try and clone up the DPS. Gets a clone over onto Dizio. That will pause the game shortly. Another well-timed Cenarian Ward. Feral's doing very well with this talent. You don't normally see it taken from a Feral Druid.
Yeah, this Jungle Cleave's doing an excellent job of surviving. Feral's just getting the Cyclones out when he needs to, and as we said, the Cenarian Ward and also the kiting from the Hunter. But a nice double fair comes out. This could be trouble for Daki. He's just running around the pillar. Still has a deterrence available. He should be okay for now. Snowy still holding on to 2 Spirit Links. I'd like to see him maybe pop one of those, but no, the deterrence does come out. He needs to top off his partner before the trap, but on the other side, Bob coming out for Toaster. He's in a lot of trouble. A nice offensive Cyclone on the Avenging Wrath from Feral, once again shutting down that offensive cooldown, but Daki is going to take a lot of damage here.
It's basically a race between Toaster and Daki right now. Toaster is lower on HP. Mazza has cooldowns, but he's caught into CC. He's not able to use them, and Toaster could just go down to 20% HP. What's he going to do? He's trying to run back out of line of sight. That Power Word shield barely coming in time. He eats the trap. Toaster eats the trap for his healer and prevents that CC chain, which means that he can heal him back up to full. And now Daki is in trouble. He has no deterrences remaining. Snowy needs to be the one to save him. They're trying to connect to each other. They might just choose to use a Spirit Link here. They are dangerously low. They're playing with the devil right now. Feral going for a Cyclone. Gets interrupted. Again, Feral's just been doing a great job with these Cyclones, eating the interrupts, giving Snowy time to cast, but he actually gets interrupted into the full trap, and now Daki's in a lot of trouble. Snowy trinkets out. He grounded the silence. Really amazing grounding totem from Snowy, but he needs to use a cooldown. He drops the Spirit Link right before the Fist of Justice, and now Toaster is in a bit of trouble. Mazza should use the pain suppression here to reduce the damage. He's trying to get away without using it, but now he goes into that full Cyclone, and now he will be unable to use it. Toaster's just in the middle of the map, taking so much damage. He gets cloned up at low HP. Really amazing clone here from Feral. Can they switch it over onto Mazza? They get the full trap, and Toaster should fall. He's barely staying alive here. Moses barely keeping up at 40% HP, but he does survive. Now bringing the aggression forward onto Daki, who is now below half HP. It's just a race at this point. Pain suppression comes out from Moza. Moza's running out of mana. Snovy's sitting at full. As long as they can stay alive for a few more seconds, it's looking good for Cringe Gods.
Yeah, and they still do have that Spirit Link available, but he needs to be out of CC to get it. Full trap now. Lands onto Snowy. Daki could be in a bit of trouble. He's kind of kiting away, but Dizio also taking a lot of damage. Toaster may well fall here. Deterrence. The Hunter cannot help him out. Toaster down to 2%. He will fall. Shield comes out. He's actually alive. Dizio as well. Still so low. There's no way he could out-heal that with 0 mana. Moza did such a good job of keeping Toaster alive, but in the end of the day, Cringe Gods with so much pressure, but this was such a back and forth game. Either team could have easily won this.
I mean, look at the situation. If they had been able to survive, Toaster has his Avenging Wrath up in his cooldown, so that's his huge burst window. It was available. If they could have stayed alive 15 seconds longer, they need to chase down Cringe Gods. They need to remove the pillars from the game, basically, which by picking Runes of Lordaeron, you accomplish that.
Yep.
So it's the smart decision for UWOWTM8, and I'm wondering if they know that. Yep, they do know the option to pick it, and it is going to be Runes of Lordaeron. So Cringe Gods are up 1-0, and it looks like they're just going to be charging into the middle of the map. Just going to be a brawl. Snowy hanging very far back, actually, in the outskirts. That will make it a little bit more difficult to land a trap on him. We can see Rusko actually already caught into a trap. Toaster already dipping very low on HP, but a nice sacrifice will remove the CC off Rusko. Now Toaster is bringing on the aggression over to Daki. Daki down to 50%, and he's going to have nowhere to run on this map. He immediately deterrents. I like that reaction. Just prevent the damage before it happens.
Yeah, so there's two big changes in this game. Like you say, Daki doesn't have that. Oh, he's going to struggle perhaps to kite in the same way he was able to last game, as we see Snowy caught up into that full trap. Daki's in a lot of trouble. Might have to blow the second deterrence. That does come out. Snowy should be able to connect some heals after this trap. I don't think there's any follow-up CC. As you can see, UWOWTM8 running. Oh, he needs to get the Spirit Link off here. There's so much damage coming out. Actually able to kite Toaster a little bit. He's dropping kind of low. The nice low cyclone coming out from Feral, but that Incarnation not going to force the bubble like it did last game. And one of the reasons perhaps is that UWOWTM8 are running that Shaman now. They identified their CC chains weren't the cleanest last game, and now they've gone for that increase sustained with Rusko and Shaman.
Yeah, I think it was a smart decision there, but they need to change up their buffs. Toaster is still buffing Mastery. He needs to be buffing Kings instead of Might if he wants to get the full stat value. So it's going to be a bit of an overlap for now, but it looks like Feral is still looking for some Cyclones. He wants to prevent any healing incoming, but now caught into a stun. He will be unable to, but he preemptively Cenarion warded that binding shot, so Daki just stays at full HP. Now they're bringing a lot of pressure over to Dizio. Dizio's trying to get back to the pillar with Rusko. Now line of sighting on the other side, but Daki's just right on top of him. Snowy now taking the tomb as well. It seems like the Hunters are just attacking at each other. Now a swap over onto Toaster. They've already burst him down to 50%. Rusko caught into a full clone. Can they land any more CC onto Rusko? They need it, and they need it now. They do go for the binding shot. Daki needs to land the trap. He's trying to get it. He lands the full trap. Toaster's caught in a stun. He can't use that sacrifice. He has no bubble. He's down to 20%. He's just flailing for his life basically at this point. He's just going for the aggression. He doesn't care if he dies. He bops himself at 10%. He wants to try and get a kill over onto Daki. He knows that he has no deterrence remaining. Snowy trinkets. He drops the link, but Daki got knocked out of it. Now Daki's still in so much trouble. Snowy is forced to drop his second Spirit Link to stabilize. There's still a lot of pressure. They're trying to turn it around with a trap onto Rusko, but Toaster just immediately sacrifices that off. It's a race against the end of the world right now. Daki down to 50%, Toaster down to 50%. Snowy needs to try and get some hard-casted heals out here pretty soon. He's laying down that Cloudburst totem. He's preparing to line up a lot of burst healing. He tops him off. Now with Daki stabilized, it's basically down to the next trap to decide the game.
Yeah, certainly is. Rusko could well be the target of that next trap. There it is. Toaster in a lot of trouble. He does have that bot, but it's not going to be enough. So much magic damage coming out from the Survival Hunter. We did see the wings coming out, desperately trying to get a heal off in that Blessing of Protection. Of course, he couldn't be interrupted by Feral, but Daki with so...
yeah, that was very good.
And it's like, if they'd managed to get the Hodge there before the Spirit Link, they would have won the game. So maybe on a more drawn-out map where Daki is incentivized to kite around pillars and LOS that red damage, he's also kiting Snowy a little bit there, so they might get the opportunity to get a kind of bursty kill, maybe take out CG before their cooldowns, but obviously so far that has not happened. CG 2-0 up in this series, and Tiger's Peak is potentially the final resting place for UWOWTM8.
Yeah, definitely. Cringe Gods are looking amazing in this series. It looks like Dizio is going to be playing Beast Mastery, so you can see his T-Rex already getting sent onto Snowy, and that's going to build up stacks for more burst later on. We can see Moza caught into a bash, connecting into that full trap. Toaster's going to remove that right away. Quick reaction. Feral looking for a clone. They need to make sure that they stop these incoming Cyclones. They actually use the Fists of Justice, forcing Feral's trinket. They're still trying to chase him down. Feral on the run, trying to line of sight on this balcony, but they're just going to switch their attention to Daki now. They've got him down to 40%. Snowy needs to be careful with the situation here. There's a lot of burst, and they are not respecting the Ret Paladin space. Daki deterrencing now. That will prevent quite a bit of damage. It seems like Feral wants to pull the trigger. He's going for that Incarnation over onto Toaster, but they're really not getting any cooldowns. They've used the Incarnation with no CC. They need to get Moza locked down into a trap if they want any real pressure. Daki disengages over. He tries to Holy Fire the trap to break it with damage, but he doesn't manage to connect it. Daki's still not landing the trap. He's trying to sneak up for the trap. Lands that full trap, a double trap at the same time. This could be trouble for both teams as Dizio goes for his Murder of Crows onto Daki, but Feral with another amazing Cenarion ward. He's healing through that burst very well, but it will be fading here shortly. Daki down to 20%. Snowy caught into a fear. Deterrence at 6%. He's fully dotted. He might just go down at 20%. Snowy's being so greedy. Snowy, how are you getting away with this greed? He tops him off with a huge healing surge, but man, I would have a heart attack if I was Daki.
Yeah, the Aura Master Healing Surge coming out barely in time. No deterrences left on Daki. At the same time, there's no sacrifices on UWOWTM8, so Cringe Gods certainly have been going through those breaks on the Disc Priest. Now we do see the bubble coming out with a nice follow-up Cyclone from Feral, as we've seen time and time again. Toaster just going to toss out those Flash of Lights, heal himself behind the pillar and go on offense now. He needs to get the CC onto Snovi. We need to see that Hodge Trap landing soon because they still have not forced the Trinket Link. There's the fear. Can they follow up on the CC chain? They need to land this Hodge. He gets knocked away. Might not quite be able to land it. The grounding goes down, but he does land the CC. If they could follow up with the trap, they could potentially win here. He's so far away from his healer. They're going to struggle to land the Trinket Link. No trap follows up, though, thanks to another amazing Cyclone from Feral.
Yeah, Feral has been playing so well in this matchup. It looks like Snovi decided to trade out his Spirit Link right before the trap. Can they chase Daki down? Daki's just been doing laps on this pillar. He's trying to get away. He actually traps up Toaster to try and slow some damage. Maybe he didn't mean to do that. He might have actually ate the trap for Moza. Sick play from Toaster. That's going to get them so much pressure. Daki's just going to get blown up. Snovi got locked on his heel right before that point, ended up trinketing but was unable to Spirit Link, and UWOWTM8 strike back.
Yeah, I mean, we've been commenting on how on the Rat Hunter, they have, of course, all the sacrifices, the bobs, lots of cooldowns to go through. But maybe Snovi just, when he has so many links, he has double link available, he needs to go for that.
We're actually into the next game right away. These teams are ready to pull the trigger. Dalaran Sewers could be the final resting place for UWOWTM8. They struck back and took game number 3. They're looking to try and take game number 4. Daki dueling with Dizio in the middle right now, looking to land a trap on Moza. Lands that full trap, but Toaster will remove that right away. I really like those preemptive sacrifices. Get him out of CC, get going, and now it looks like they're bringing the aggression to Daki. They've actually forced him to Trinket and Deterrence very early on. He's respecting the Ret Paladin space, but now Murder of Crows is up. I don't think that Cenarian Ward will be enough. Forced now into his second Deterrence. This is looking terrible for Cringe Gods right now. UWOWTM8 have found their center.
Yeah, UWOWTM8, they don't really have any ramp-up time on their damage. The Hunter and the Ret can just go instantly. So I really like that sacrifice, like you say, just getting offensive. We'll see the second sacrifice actually popped onto that trap there. So both sacrifices down. PS also used on the side of UWOWTM8, but they forced double deter from Daki. This is the CC chain onto Snovi. They need to get the damage on to Daki if they can connect to him, but he's just kind of playing by the pillar. We see the snake trap. He's just being annoying for the Ret Paladin. Toaster struggling to connect around that pillar. And like we say, the map choice for Cringe Gods definitely paying dividends right now.
Oh, Dizio eating that trap for his healer. Really well played. Toaster needs to be careful. He doesn't want to throw the game. He still has a lot of defensive cooldowns. Trades out that Divine Shield to immune the damage. But Moses caught into a full Hex. Snovi found the time to sneak that Hex out. Unfortunately, it ended up breaking to a bleed tick. That's really unfortunate. They were looking to get a lot of pressure with that. Now instead, Feral is forced to clone up Toaster and switch his damage over onto Dizio. But Dizio has 2 deterrences. They really need to focus on Toaster. It looks like Daki needs to run for right now, though. He's trying to get out of line of sight on this box, but it's such a small box. He's not able to go anywhere, and he's just going to go down. Snovi barely Trinket links in time. If that silence was just a millisecond faster, he might not have been able to get that off. Feral's trying to carry his team. He goes for the Cyclone over on the Moza. Moza has no way to get out of crowd control right now. They land the full trap. Does Toaster sack it? He sacks it off immediately. Toaster's been pulling the trigger very fast on that. He wants to stay aggressive. Daki and Snovi are trying to trade sides of the map. They need to get away from this Ret Paladin as his Avenging Wrath is impending in 19 more seconds.
Yeah, Cringe Gods definitely need to get away right now. Like you say, so close to the game ending. Toaster knows that as well. He's just going to sit through the CC. He sees that Avenging Wrath up in 10 seconds. There's no Trinket on Snovi, and Deterrence is not up for another minute on Daki either. This is certainly a win if they can just cleanly land their CC and connect to Daki. But at the same time, Toaster in trouble. No breaks on Mozzarella. There's no sacrifices available, so he needs to play behind the pillar. And it's only 50 seconds on that Deterrence. They need to get offensive soon, otherwise Cringe Gods are going to have that answer. Toaster now pushing offensively. He needs to land this Hodge onto Snovi. He does do so. Can they follow up with the trap or the fear? That's going to be the question. Dizio, he's unable to land it, and the fear actually misses the snake trap, eating that from Daki. Beautiful play by him.
And it looks like Dizio has landed his full trap. Now Daki is in so much trouble. He needs to get out of line of sight. He's doing his best, using the Feign Death, everything in his arsenal to stay alive, to get the Spirit Link, to get it off in time. Feral gets inside. Now he's going for some defensive clones. I like the defensive play from Feral. He needs to clone up these DPS. He's going to throw a Maim over into Moza. Daki's going to look for a trap. He lands the full trap out of that, and Moza trinkets out. They want to go aggressive. They know that Daki doesn't have anything to survive right now. They're attacking Feral. Okay, they're going to switch their attention back over onto Daki. Dizio needs to land this trap. They go for the fear instead. Will Dizio get the trap? He's chasing Snovi down the ramp, but he gets stunned. Feral with a really well-timed stun into Cyclone will prevent that CC chain completely. Now Snowy has some breathing room to get back to the ramp and get away from that Hunter. Toaster now in a bit of trouble. Moza with no way to get out of this crowd control. If Duduferro can get a clone or a stun, they go for the bash. Is Duduferro going to look for the clone? No, he's just looking for the kill, and Toaster goes down. Cringe Gods are going to take this series 3-1. Amazing play from Duduferro.
Yeah, that was amazing, honestly. Cringe God's communicating so perfectly. You can tell Snowy is every single time saying how long or what CC is next and needs to be stopped. And actually, the Ret Hunter had less CC on the healer than the Jungle Cleave, despite having that Disc Priest. As you can see, Snowy was in CC for 1 minute, whereas Mozzarella was in CC for 1 minute and 10 seconds. You would definitely expect it to be the other way
around. That was all Cyclones. If you really look at time and CC for Toaster, Dizio, and Moza, like, it was Cyclones. Duduferro just carried the game on his back. Snowy used his cooldowns a lot more effectively. Daki kited much better on this map, so they just improved overall from the previous game, and they're going to cleanly take it now 3-1 and advance, and I believe that they will be fighting one of the Turbo Cleaves later, so they could be the upset team. If those Turbo Cleaves aren't prepared for a Jungle Cleave, they could easily be eliminated, and that would be quite the upset. I'm really